Joe, welcome to the program.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm wondering why you and your conservative cohorts hate America so much and the ideals on which this country was founded of the liberal Enlightenment.
That's an interesting question, Tom. I can't speak for all conservatives. I can speak for myself and, some folks I know and hang out with. And I think we quite are enamored with our country. And that's the motivating factor, I think, for our politics as opposed to a lot of folks, not all, a lot of folks on the left.
Well, I'm wondering if you don't dislike or hate or whatever the word is, the idea of representative democracy, of public debate, of analyzing issues. Why are you writing about how political dissent is part of our democracy, but why is the left ramping up its hate America rhetoric in the wake of bin Laden's death? In this episode of the Hicks File, Joe Hicks takes us back to the days and weeks following 9/11 when the left claimed it was America's fault Al-Qaeda attacked and explains how liberals like Michael Moore are at it again. I find that to be profoundly factually inaccurate, highly inflammatory, and frankly un-American.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting twist on what you find un-American. If you say that, I clearly say in my piece that the right of dissent is fundamental, and I don't call, as I say in my piece, for any kind of witch hunt or excoriating.
You say the left is ramping up its hate America rhetoric. If I said that people on the right hate America, Joe, you would be justified in saying that I was not holding to the ideals of this country.
Are you going to allow me to answer your question? You're just going to
not if it's going to be a filibuster. No, Joe. If this is a conversation.
But you can filibuster.
I beg your pardon?
But you can filibuster.
I am giving you an opportunity to respond. Here I'll say it again. If you're going to say, if I was to say all the conservatives are ramping up their hate America rhetoric, you would be justified in calling me un-American.
No, I don't call you un-American, Tom.
No, I'm saying if I did.
What I argue for is the hard left. I don't know if you consider yourself part of the hard left, but some of the people I identify in there are part of the hard left. And my view, you can certainly disagree with it, as these folks fundamentally don't like what our country is about. And I choose to have a debate, or I'd like to have a debate, a public debate, and I call for that. I say there needs to be a war of ideas.
What about America is it that
the left puts out?
What about America is it that you think that the hard left hates?
I think they hate pretty much everything the country stands for.
How about one specific thing?
Well, I think they did dislike the sort of constitutional constraints that they often argue against. I think they
wait a minute. Who has argued against
every kind of
constitutional constraints?
Policy position that we have taken.
Well, wait a second. Can we just take these one at a time, Joe?
Every single war since the 1960s. So, what is it that makes you think that the hard left, the MoveOn.org kind of people, the cause, daily cause kind of folks, what is it you think about them loves what America is all about?
You said that the hard left has been anti-war since the 60s. We haven't had a declared war since the 40s, Joe.
Well, we certainly have been in an awful lot of actions that many people argue were in the direct interest of
and those actions are unconstitutional. The Constitution explicitly says that Congress, A, is the exclusive body that can declare war, and B, that war funding cannot last more than 2 years, one constitutional cycle.
And I just heard you argue that maybe we need to press some kind of actions against the Bush administration for its, I guess you would argue, unconstitutional
for torture
action in Iraq.
For torture. Well, it's a crime under U.S. law. We executed Japanese prisoners of war. Joe, are you going to let me finish a sentence once in a while? We executed Japanese prisoners of war after World War II for waterboarding our soldiers. We executed Filipino prisoners after the Spanish-American War for waterboarding our prisoners. And we've called it torture for over 100 years. Suddenly, you guys want to change the language.
So then, why aren't the Bush officials behind bars at this point? If that's
because Obama's a wuss.
Oh, well, okay.
On this topic.
Well, he's your wuss.
Yeah, I'll agree.
And you
but that doesn't mean that I hate America, and it doesn't mean that I hate Obama.
Well, I don't hate Obama, and I'm what you would like to call a right-winger. I respect him as my president. I take issue with him. I'm not one of those birthers and crazy idiots who think the guy was born in
Okay,
Kenya.
but where we started out with this is you said that the left hates America because they hate the constitutional limitations on the power of government, and the example you gave was these wars that we've had, Vietnam and whatnot going forward.
No, I was trying to give you
I'll agree with
examples.
you that by and large it's been the left who said no, we don't want those wars. Although there have been many on the right who have spoken out against those wars, particularly the so-called Democrat wars. But how is agreeing with the Constitution that the president shouldn't be able to declare a war hating the Constitution?
I have my own issues about the war in Afghanistan. I've had my issues with George Bush and his view that sort of nation building that he often argued for in Iraq that I disagreed with. You don't fight.
So you're agreeing with Michael Moore. You must hate America too?
No, I don't agree with Michael Moore. It's like a clock can be, a broken clock can be right like a couple of times a day.
Twice.
And Michael Moore and I'm sure, Tom, if you and I sat down, had a couple of drinks, I'm sure we'd find a whole lot of stuff that we'd.
Well, I'm still trying to find one area where the left actually hates America. I
used in my piece, and I'm sure since you invited me on, you must have watched the piece, and I used a lot of examples from a lot of people on the left, Barbara King Solver and others, Katha Pollitt, who took exception with Americans flying flags after 9/11. Now, what is
from Samuel Johnson to Teddy Roosevelt, dissent is the highest form of patriotism.
That doesn't mean I want to drag Katha Pollitt on the middle of the street. My God, all I'm saying.
But saying that somebody hates America because they disagree with the policy of a political party is the language of a demagogue.
Oh, really?
That's the kind of language Joe Stalin used.
Oh, it's not. Come on.
Of course it is.
You're way over the edge here.
No, I am not.
For me to disagree with somebody and then say that they hate some fundamental things about this country. And if you look at
you said the left is ramping up its hate America rhetoric. I have not heard any hate America rhetoric out of the left.
And I gave concrete examples of why I consider.
Who said they hate America?
I'm sorry?
Name one person on the left who said they hate America, please.
Oh, well, nobody's going to come on and say, I hate America.
Then why are you saying this?
Is if you look at the actions and the writings and the words of various people on the left, like Michael Moore, it's awfully hard from my perspective.
Is that because he wants national health care? He hates America?
No, well, we see.
Is it because he wants the banksters in jail? He hates America?
No, Tom. My argument is the philosophy of people like Michael Moore is basically a hate America kind of philosophy.
The philosophy of the left, Joe, is the philosophy of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson.
Like national health care, and disagree. My God, I don't think that the president hates America, and he certainly advocates what comes awfully close to universal health care. But it's based on an entire examination.
I'm still not hearing from you where anybody on the left is A, using hate America rhetoric, or B, hates America. Why? And I don't get why you would use that kind of Stalin-esque language.
Listen, Tom, I'm an old communist. I grew up in the Communist Party, and I know that the
maybe you
hard
hate America.
has that view of America, and that's my view on it.
I beg your pardon?
And that's my view on it. You can disagree with that.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll agree to disagree. Joe Hicks,
right,
PJTV.com is the website. Joe, thanks for dropping by today.
Hey, thanks, Tom.
It's the Hicks Files. The Hicks File is Joe's show.